let's look at the Smart Cities Megatrend. First off, read this disclaimer carefully. Let's quickly get the big picture of the market. There's a huge day on Wall Street, major rallies. Something that is very interesting is that we are seeing rotations. You can see here that some of the pandemic winners are seeing big sell-offs. E-commerce, interactive entertainment, turbo foodie, flexible workforce. Pandemics, even the pandemics portfolio is seeing a lot of pullback today. So there's definitively a rotation in the markets. And if we go here to the economic signals, you can see that the holiday stocks are doing really well. Employment agencies, football clubs, we see fossil fuel, euphoric spending. Yeah, there's definitively is a rotation in the market. There's a huge caveat about this period, okay? Yes, there's some preliminary conclusion that there will be a Biden-Harris administration. However, this is 2020. 2020 has been a crazy year. Given that the track record of this year, there's no reason to be complacent about anything. Hence, I would not be surprised at all to see a 2020 plot twist. So be prepared for everything. Anyway, let's now look at smart cities. I have a portfolio here, massively outperforming the S&P 500. We go here to the smart cities. So there's a bunch of stocks. You got some general smart city stocks, smart grid, a bunch of stuff. We will look at BorgWarner in this video. Efficient transportation is basically how I categorized them. Pretty good performance. Some distance away from the 52-week highs. So let's look at the company's website. BorgWarner completes acquisition of Delphi Technologies. So they basically are working to make, the world more cleaner and efficient. BorgWarner made that commitment decades ago and have since been creating technologies to improve efficiency, emissions, and performance in all types of vehicles. So it's for combustion, hybrid, and electric. So they have exposure to, all kinds of different vehicles. So that is very good. Diversification. If you look here at the seasonality, there's something very interesting happening, and that's that this period is strong for BorgWarner. So strong seasonality, that is bullish. Let's compare it against the S&P 500, like that. Let's get 20 years. You can see that December is the strongest month, and that one is right around the corner. November is mediocre, but there certainly is strength on the horizon. If you look here at the charts, this is the giga picture, all the history we have here for Borg. You can see that it is definitively sensitive to bear markets, the dot-com bubble and also the financial crisis, but it also has had a couple major bear markets during the current bull market. You can see that this fall here was a massive minus 47-ish%. This fall right here was an astonishing minus 70%. So definitely a stock that moves big. Hence, if you are going to have exposure to Borg, you want to actively manage your position and having the flexibility to be long, but also to just go short if the opportunity arises. What I found very interesting when I looked at the charts is that BorgWarner seems to be forming what we call an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So it's like that, then you got the head, and then we are potentially forming a right shoulder. So that's a bullish pattern. So here is the left shoulder, a bit messy, but here is a clear head with a double bottom, and we seem to be forming a right shoulder at the moment. So that's interesting. We are seeing some pickup here in the accumulation distribution line. So even though this price is higher than this one quite significantly, this indicator is actually looking pretty decent. And there's very little correlation here with the S&P 500, minus 16%. If we go here to the daily data points, let's load the moving averages. The moving averages are thrown around a lot because Borg moves in these big waves. So it is a swing trader's dream, but it creates a mess when it comes to the moving averages. You can see that there's a lot of cyclicality up and down, up and down. So let's just look at this pullback here, minus 21%. Let's look at this pullback right here, minus 16%. So this is amazing for swing trading. If you look here at the RSI, it seems to be somewhat responsive to RSI levels, oversold and overbought. That's interesting. On the daily data points, short time frame, we have a 95% positive correlation with the S&P 500. So that's the fundamentals. If you go here, no, that's the technicals. Let's now look at the fundamentals. Options are available. It is shortable. If you look here at performance, there's been issues. If you look at the analyst price targets, and you see here that there's a bunch. So the average price target is $45. The stock is currently, $38.56. So 17% potential upside. And given that options are available, that could be significantly more if we get into the options market. Going to Saks.com, we have a number 2 buy, A value score, B growth, and B momentum, and the VGM of A. The industry rank is in the top 20%. That's good. And you also get a 1.9% dividend. This is pretty decent. I mean, this is good. Okay. So I think that if we put the evidence together here. So number one, we looked at the technicals. There's been issues for Borg, but we do have this inverse head and shoulders pattern developing, and that is bullish. And when it becomes more developed, then the algorithms will pick it up. The nice thing about analyzing charts, visually with human eyes is that you can detect patterns while they are developing. An algorithm is not going to pick up this inverse head and shoulders yet because it is not fully developed. It is not going to react and send the buy signal until this happens. But then it is a bit late as well. So you do have some interesting technicals. The seasonality was bullish. The fundamentals are bullish. It is a part of a major theme, smart cities, which I am certainly bullish on long term. A potential Biden-Harris administration will be bullish for smart cities, but I also think that there's good potential with a continuing Trump administration because Trump is, the builder, the big builder, and smart cities, yes, it certainly fits into his area of expertise. Okay, whatever you do, of course, you want to be very, very, very careful in this market. Do not fall for all of the ad hoc assumptions that you see on the financial news, because this is 2020. This has been a wild year, and I have no reason to think that the trend for the year is just going to go away. So expect the unexpected.